2. A dangerous game. When I was 7 years old, there were no parks or playgrounds in my neighborhood. However, I was never bored since I liked to create my own games. Every morning after breakfast, I found something interesting to do. One day, an idea that taught me a valuable lesson in a hard way came to me. At the time, children under the age of 7 did not have to pay the bus fare if they were accompanied by their parents. I decided to try a new scheme. As I was getting on the bus, I pretended that I was riding with my father or mother so that I would not have to pay the fare. At that time, only 1 out of 1,000 families owned a car. The traffic was always very light, and riding in any kind of automobile was a great adventure. At first, I enjoyed riding back and forth from one terminal to another. But after a while, I got bored with just riding the bus all day long. I had to think of another game that I would enjoy more. After a couple of days, I came up with a better idea. The buses at that time carried a spare tire on the back attached to a metal rod. I planned to hang on to the rod, my feet on the bumper, while the bus was going from one station to another. I imagined how exciting that would be. When the bus arrived, I waited until all the passengers were aboard. As soon as the bus began moving, I jumped and grabbed the rod and clung on for dear life. People on the street shouted, "Look at that! A boy is hanging on the back of the bus. He could be killed." However, the driver couldn't hear them, so he kept driving. As soon as the bus halted at the next bus stop, I jumped down and hid in a nearby alley. When another bus came from the opposite direction, I came out of hiding and repeated the stunt and rode back to the first bus stop. After playing this game for several years, I made a mistake. I jumped off a little too early and fell to the ground, skinning both of my knees very badly on the asphalt. Bleeding, I was carried to the nearest hospital and got several shots in the hip. The doctor told me that I needed to be hospitalized for 2 weeks. Every day, the nurse pulled down my underwear and gave me a few more shots. The injections were very painful. My family and relatives came to see me, and they all scolded me for performing such a dangerous stunt.